morning, hope you're doing well. Today is a big day, my first day as an independent developer working on my own stuff. Very excited, it's like a new chapter for me and yeah, I can't wait to get started. We're still here in quarantine in a hotel in Mauritius after flying back from a holiday in Finland, hence the hotel room. I recently bought a new MacBook to replace the one that I have to give back to my old company. I recently put out a tweet asking people's opinion if I should get a MacBook Air or if I should buy the more expensive MacBook Pro. A lot of people said that the MacBook Air was plenty for what I needed, and now I've been playing with it over the weekend. I actually unboxed it on Friday. Here's a clip of me unboxing and first impressions. All right, so I've sat down for my last day at my job. It's kind of a weird feeling, opening the computer for the last time to do work for that one company. I don't really have much to do. It's just kind of tidying up the last few things, talking about some features that need to be finished after I've left. But one of the main things I have to do today is to move off this work computer, which they gave me when I joined, and get set up on my new computer. I went for the MacBook Air 16GB 256. I have actually been on a 15-inch MacBook Pro for probably a decade now, maybe 3 different computers. I haven't upgraded to a new one this time around because apparently Apple are releasing new models with their M series chips later this year. So what we did instead was buy a MacBook Air, which I will use for now, and then I'll give that to my wife when I buy the next MacBook Pro, probably next year. So here is the MacBook Air, still in its bag from the shop where we bought it in Finland. Got it tax-free, luckily. I think it was like €200 off, something like that. They come with these smaller bricks and just one cable now, USB-C to USB-C. Very cool. It's so small. Oh gosh. And we're off. This has the keyboard on it. You can see the extra letters there. It's not the first time I've had a finished keyboard. It definitely doesn't really affect anything. Some of the keys up here are also in a different place. Okay, so I'm just gonna set the rest of this computer up now, and then I have to think about what I need to copy over. It would be nice to have my settings and things like that, but I think I'll do that maybe over the weekend. This is my normal setup. I've got a wooden Fleo stand to lift up the monitor and a Logitech keyboard and mouse. And this is what it looks like now. Just a mini version. It's going to take some getting used to, I think, but I don't really know how much of a difference it's going to make on a day-to-day basis. Should be much faster, which is like the most important thing. Should be able to handle some video editing and yeah, all the coding stuff I throw at it. So pretty excited. Like I said in the clip, I've had a 15-inch MacBook Pro for about 10 years now. I actually quite like how small the MacBook Air is. It's obviously very portable. I haven't had major issues with the screen size difference. I did max out the resolution to fit more pixels on the screen. It makes the text quite small now. Maybe I'll invest it in a monitor when we get home just to bring back more screen real estate. Some other things I've noticed while using the new MacBook Air is that there's only 2 ports on the left side and 1 headphone jack on the right side. I don't typically connect a lot of things to my computer. I have a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard typically, but that's just, I guess, one of the limitations of this new computer. I've also now lost the touch bar, which was on my MacBook Pro. Again, it's not something I really used much. I did like the sliders for volume, but having the physical keys back is actually quite nice. I quite enjoy the change. And also in general, the keyboard is much, much nicer than the keyboard on my old MacBook Pro, which was from that era where they tried out the new keyboard system. This is a lot more responsive. I had tons of errors with the old keyboard, like multiple key presses and keys getting stuck, and there just wasn't enough travel when tapping. And that is just, yeah, that's been all fixed with this new keyboard now. Overall, super happy with the new computer. It's definitely helping make this feel like a new chapter, like a fresh start with new tools. With some of the questions and the responses on Twitter that I got regarding the Air or the Pro, it seems like for me and my kind of work, the Air is fine for web development and some video editing. I did upgrade to the 16 gig version just for some extra power. And like I mentioned before, I probably will upgrade to the 16-inch MacBook Pro when that comes out, purely for the screen resolution. But if I can find a monitor and have that on my desk, maybe I don't need to. We'll see what happens. Quick quarantine update. We had our second round of PCR tests here at the hotel on Saturday. They were all negative, luckily. We have one more week of quarantine and then another round of PCR tests. And if they're all negative, then we get to go home. So we're past halfway. We are really enjoying ourselves at the hotel, obviously, inching closer to getting actually home and not having to live out of a suitcase anymore. It's been about 10 weeks, I think, already. So it's quite a long period. Don't think I've shown you this yet. This is my iPhone setup, GorillaPod, and a Rode mic. It does really well at the moment. I am thinking about upgrading it at some point, but for now, this is working fine. Rocking my yellow t-shirt today, first day of freedom. We're just heading out now to the kayak place.